You wanted to see me, Your Grace?
I'm leaving on a hunting trip. I just wanted to make sure you had everything you need before I left.
That's very thoughtful, Your Grace. I have everything I could want.
Good.
Picture this. You are a young woman walking into the private chambers of a king who has publicly humiliated and tormented his last fiancée, a king who declared your dead husband a traitor, a king holding a crossbow when you enter. No allies, no script, one wrong word and you end up exactly where Sansa Stark is, broken and powerless. This is the situation Margaery Tyrell walks into, and with nothing but her mind and a precise, calculated strategy, she walks out with Joffrey Baratheon wrapped around her finger. What happened in that room reveals more about power, ego, and manipulation than almost anything else in Game of Thrones. Every move she makes looks effortless, natural, warm. That is the mark of a truly elite operator. The strategy is invisible. Today, we make it visible. To understand how brilliant this is, you need to understand the position she is in before she steps through that door. House Tyrell has just saved King's Landing from Stannis Baratheon's invasion, and as reward, Margaery has been betrothed to King Joffrey. In practice, a death sentence waiting to happen. Joffrey is a paranoid, sadistic tyrant who craves control above everything. The moment anyone challenges his authority, even accidentally, they become a target. Sansa Stark learned this the hard way, playing the obedient, terrified subject, only for Joffrey to have her beaten publicly for sport. Margaery's position is even more precarious. She was married to Renly Baratheon, a man Joffrey branded a traitor.
Is this what you want, Lady Margaery?
With all my heart, Your Grace. I have come to love you from afar. Tales of your courage and wisdom have never been far from my ears, and those tales have taken root deep inside of me.
Marking her as a potential enemy from the start. Cersei is poisoning Joffrey against her, threatened by Margaery's warmth with the common people. The knives were out long before she entered the room. So, she walks in facing a volatile, armed tyrant with reason to distrust her on three fronts: her husband's treason, her public popularity, and his mother's manipulation. She must neutralize all of it, alone, without appearing to try. The scene opens cold. Joffrey stands holding his crossbow. Not a casual prop, but a symbol. Violent, dominant, in control. He barely looks up when she enters. "I'm leaving on a hunting trip. I just wanted to make sure you had everything you need. This is not courtesy. This is a power move. He has important things to do, and she is an afterthought he has graciously remembered." He watches how she receives it. Will she flinch? Flatter him? Either confirms his dominance. "That's thoughtful, Your Grace. I have everything I could want." Simple, warm, disarming. She doesn't over-flatter. She doesn't scramble. In Joffrey's mind, a mind wired to hunt for weakness, the absence of anxiety is striking. Something shifts in him. Not trust, not yet, but curiosity. He presses forward, dropping Renly's name like a match near dry wood.
How are you finding life in the capital? Must be quite a change after Renly's camp.
A welcome one. A military encampment is no place for a lady.
How are you finding life in the capital? Must be quite a change after Renly's camp. He's watching for a flinch, a flicker of discomfort, anything he can use. Margaery doesn't flinch. She leans straight into it. A welcome one. A military encampment is no place for a lady. She doesn't just accept the comparison, she validates it. His world is the superior one. The unspoken message, "I would rather be here with you." He hears the opening and springs his trap. And the bedside of a traitor, is that a place for a lady? A direct attack. He wants the fear response. She doesn't break, but she doesn't fight back either. I tried to do my duty as a wife. That is all.
And the bedside of a traitor? Is that a place for a lady?
Your Grace, I tried to do my duty as a wife. That is all.
What was your duty to this traitor as you saw it?
The duty of any wife to any husband, to provide him with children.
You failed to do this.
In a single sentence, she sidesteps the political accusation, reframes herself as an innocent bystander, and strips away any suggestion of loyalty or agenda. She was just a wife doing her duty, nothing more. He leans in harder, and this is exactly where the trap springs. What was your duty to this traitor? To provide children. You failed. Why?
Why?
I would not speak ill of the dead, Your Grace.
You think one ought to speak kindly of a traitor merely because he's had a sword put through his heart?
No. I do beg your pardon. The subtleties of politics are often lost on me.
Here is the moment that separates Margaery from every other player in this scene. Rather than defend herself, she does something completely unexpected. She opens up. She confesses. Not to treason. Not to political allegiance. She confesses to private confusion, the kind that makes her seem fragile, sheltered, almost naive. Her voice drops. Something in her expression falters. She introduces the suggestion of Renly's homosexuality, not as information, but as something that hurt her.
Renly? I don't believe he was interested in the company of women.
What makes you say this?
Whenever I wanted to make a child with him, he had so many excuses, so many late-night war councils. He never wanted to try.
I don't believe he was interested in the company of women. Whenever I tried to conceive, he always had excuses. Maybe the fault was with me.
Something that sounded very painful and couldn't possibly result in children. Maybe the fault was with me, maybe...
No. He was a known degenerate.
It's such a relief to hear you say so, Your Grace.
I've considered making his perversion punishable by death.
The effect on Joffrey is immediate and total. The interrogator becomes the authority. The suspicious tyrant becomes the wise confessor who holds the truth she was denied.
As is your right. You must do whatever you need to do.
Every correction he has endured from Cersei, every mockery from Tyrion, every fearful silence from Sansa, none of them ever made him feel like this, like the person in the room who actually knows. He straightens, he pronounces, no, he was a known degenerate. 4 words, and Joffrey believes he just rescued her. He exhales her relief before she even says a word, because he already feels magnanimous. When she confirms it with a quiet, grateful look, the dynamic is sealed. He came into this room suspicious. He is now her protector. That shift from adversary to ally engineered in under 2 minutes. Now watch how quickly she moves. The interrogation is over. Joffrey is off his guard, basking in the warmth of his own authority. Margaery doesn't pause. She steps closer, her eyes dropping to the crossbow, her body language opening up, curious, eager, genuinely lit up. It's beautiful. Will you show me how it works?
I've just had it made. Probably one of the finest weapons in the 7 Kingdoms.
It's beautiful. Will you show me how it works?
She doesn't just tolerate who he is. She wants to understand it. By asking him to show her, she hands Joffrey a role no one in his life ever gives him. Expert, teacher, the one who knows. His whole life he has been managed by Cersei, mocked by Tyrion, feared by Sansa. Nobody has simply asked to learn from him. The effect is visceral. He stands taller. He loads the bolt with pride. He fires. Anyone else would have smiled politely. Margaery laughs, openly, with unguarded delight.
Would you take me hunting sometime?
She applauds, not the careful performance of approval, genuine enthusiasm. For Joffrey, who has only ever watched people recoil from his violence, this is something new entirely. He isn't performing dominance anymore. He's sharing something. He is, perhaps for the first time, simply enjoying himself. Would you take me hunting sometime? My father would never let me before She trails off.
Forgive me, Your Grace. I know a hunt is no place for a woman,
That's
but
not hurdle.
my father would never let me before
You no longer belong to him.
Joffrey fills the silence without even thinking. You no longer belong to him. Each exchange, his ego has climbed another rung. First, she treated him as a refuge from Renly's world. Then as the authority who held her truth. Then as the teacher worth learning from. Now as the liberator who can give her things no one else could. Every step has been Margaery handing him a bigger, better version of himself, and he has taken every one. He hands her the crossbow. They are close. The air between them has shifted completely, from cold suspicion to something warm, conspiratorial, intimate. She holds the weapon, studies it, and then says something no one in Joffrey's life has ever said to him. I imagine it must be so exciting to squeeze your finger here and watch something die over there.
I imagine it must be so exciting to squeeze your finger here and watch something die over there.
Everyone in Joffrey's life treats his violence as a problem. Cersei enables it, then panics. Tyrion mocks it. Sansa endures it in silent horror. Not once has anyone called it thrilling. His darkest instincts have always been suppressed, feared, managed, never understood. Margaery just understood them. She looked directly at the most disturbing part of him and called it exciting. In that instant, Joffrey doesn't feel monstrous. He feels seen. Could you do it? Could you kill something? I don't know, Your Grace. Do you think I could? She makes his opinion the only answer that matters, giving him the final piece of power, the right to define her. His ego doesn't accept this. It devours it. In one conversation, Margaery achieved what no one else in Westeros had managed. She dismantled his suspicion by reframing herself as a victim, then walked into his darkness and called it magnificent, making herself the one person who not only accepted his worst nature, but found it irresistible. The contrast with Sansa is stark. Compliance gave Joffrey nothing to push against, so he escalated. She was fueling the cycle she was trying to survive. Margaery gave him no cycle. She gave him a mirror, one that reflected back who he most wanted to be. Powerful, dangerous. Joffrey didn't just tolerate her after that meeting. He was invested. He wanted to impress her. A Joffrey who wants to impress you is a Joffrey you can steer. That is the genius of Margaery Tyrell. She didn't cage the beast or flee from it. She convinced the lion that she alone had ever truly seen him, and that in a world full of people who feared what he was, she thought it was magnificent. That is the most powerful position you can occupy, not beside the throne, not above it, but inside the mind of the person sitting on it.